Leslie from the Swan Team coming to you live with a 2017 end of the year market update, as well as a 2018 forecast and some information for you on the new tax laws as a result of the tax bill that was passed at the end of December and how that is going to impact you and potentially any of your real estate investments. So let's get right into it as far as Orange County and the real estate market. In general, the inventory was incredibly low. It was actually as low as it's been in many, many years. And I apologize, I'm going to at times look down at my notes because I want to make sure that I get all the facts correct to you. But in general, the active inventory in 2017 was incredibly low. We started 2017 at 4,071 active listings, and as of January 1st, 2018, there were just 3,397 active listings. So that is actually a 20% drop in active listings. It is definitely a seller's market right now, and buyers are clamoring to get into properties, multiple offers, counter offers. I know actually I'm in a negotiation right now, and the listing agent has contended that there are so many offers he doesn't even know what to do with. So yay, when you're representing the buyer, that makes it certainly scary, but you kind of have to hang on for the ride if you are a buyer. And if you're a seller, you're in the driver's seat, and I say go for it and enjoy the ride. But the good news from at least January 1st of this year to today, the 8th, active listings did go up from 3,397 to 3,585, which is a 6% increase, which is good. We anticipate that more listings will come on the market in the next few months, typically topping out at about April, May. And then once those homes get into escrow, then things start to slow down during the summer, and that's typically when things close, and then we lull into the fall. And that's exactly what happened in 2017. There was definitely a rush in the February, March timeframe, as well as even in January and some of April, and then things slowed and tapered off quickly in the summer. And then fall was very slow in the sense of there just not being much inventory, and the inventory that was there was actually sitting. So let's look though specifically at active days on market, because in general, the active days on market for a property in all of Orange County right now is 67 days, which to an individual as a seller might sound like forever. But in the big scheme of things in the real estate world, that actually is a good thing for sellers, and definitely indicates that it is a seller's market, almost even a hot seller's market. So that's Orange County. In comparison, a micro area such as Mission Viejo is at just 31 days on market, the average property. That's all it takes to get it sold, and that definitely makes Mission Viejo a hot seller's market. So if you are thinking of selling in Mission Viejo, now's the time to do it, because there are plenty of buyers, interest rates are low, and there's not enough inventory. So you just don't have the competitors that in other years there have possibly been. So again, for sellers, they definitely have, they're in the driver's seat. However, the important thing that a seller needs to always keep in mind are to always have realistic expectations and goals. Just because there aren't a lot of homes like yours on the market doesn't mean that you can sell your home that's valued at, let's say, $500,000 for $700,000 just because the market's hot. You still have to think in realistic terms, and in this day and age, we still have, in many cases, when buyers do have to get loans, and so they do have to appraise for that loan in order for the buyer to qualify, and or the home has to appraise for a certain amount. So as much as you want to, count your chickens before they've hatched, I would recommend always keeping realistic expectations for your selling goals when it comes to selling your home. What I also wanted to mention, because in Orange County, the market for homes that are over $1,250,000 has increased to the highest number it ever has been. In 2017, there were actually 3,895 homes that were sold for $1,250,000 and up, compared to just 3,249 in 2016. And when we look at the level that was prior to the Great Recession, in 2005, there were just 2,857 home sales in the $1.25 million price range and up. So what that says to me is that home values are continuing to creep up, and they are continuing to creep up in that what we once called luxury, many people are seeing in their area, again here in Orange County, that what used to be $1 million home that potentially was a 4,000 square foot or a custom home is now potentially in the 3,000 square foot range. Prices are escalating and slowly but surely year after year increasing, which is a great thing if you are a homeowner and looking to gain equity. I mean, that's certainly what everyone is looking for. So that is good news. But again, the whole, the idea that luxury market is still doing very well is just something to keep in mind. Now, as far as, let's see, what else was I going to share with you? In general, for 2018, multiple offers will be the norm for prices for homes under $1 million. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's what's going to happen this year. Again, there are too many buyers and not enough inventory. And so if you are thinking of buying, you want to make sure that you put together the best offer package you can. And I can certainly help you with that. And with sellers, always thinking about pricing, you want to make sure that, again, you have realistic expectations and for pricing and the value that you want to get out of your home. But then you also want to make sure that you set the goals that you are, and the parameters in which you are going to choose an offer if you do have multiple offers, which again is very likely. Now, getting to the tax laws and how that's going to impact you in 2018. I've had a lot of clients that have called me and asked and said, oh geez, this whole new tax bill that got signed, how is that going to affect me? And oh no, how much am I going to be able to write off of my interest from my home loan? And the answer is, if you have an existing mortgage that started before December 31st of 2017, you're not affected. If you have a home equity line of credit, however, you are affected. Starting January 1st, home equity loans the interest from home equity loans are no longer going to be tax deductible. So that is something to keep in mind. Anyone who is purchasing a new mortgage in 2018, now the cap used to be at $1 million for a mortgage, but now it has been dropped down to $750,000. So, it just kind of depends what type of property you're getting. Maybe it means putting more down, and we'll see how it impacts buyers. My anticipation is that for 2018, it's really not going to have that big of an impact. What'll be interesting to see is actually in April of 2019, when all of these tax law changes really take effect and we've had a year to live with them and see what happens and see how that impacts our market. Because realistically, I think that 2018 is going to be very similar to 2017. Inventory again is going to continue to be low, and it's going to be a seller's market. But, you know, have no fear, buyers. There will be the properties out there for you. You're just going to have to be patient and aggressive and know what you want and get the right agent like me to help you navigate through the properties and work with other agents to get you in the home that you want. And as I've been telling some of my buyers too, it's, you know, it's frustrating because when you think, am I overpaying for a home when we potentially get into a bidding war? And, you know, the simple answer with real estate always is the house will sell for, you know, a house is worth what someone is willing to pay for it. And again, as we continue to see equity slowly but surely increasing month after month, year after year, your asset and your investment is going to continue to bring you return. And, you know, even though, as I mentioned, the tax law and the new deduction changes as far as 750,000 versus $1 million, you still have that deduction up until that point. And, you know, it is still you putting money into that investment. So in the long run, I think that you have to always consider things like that, and, you know, and how much you really want a home, because there's a couple of things that I always like to say about a home. Obviously, yes, from a financial perspective, it's an investment, but from the living day to day, it's also where you're living, and you want to make sure that you're happy. So having said that, you know, those are a couple of things that you really have to consider, because it isn't just a business transaction, unless of course it is just an investment property, because then that's a totally different set of rules. And I received a question: what's your best advice for a first-time home buyer in this 2018 housing market? My best advice is to, first of all, find out what you qualify for. If there is a lender that you trust or that you know, I would say contact that person. If you need any recommendations, you can certainly contact me. I am more than happy to share some lenders that I definitely trust. But find out what you qualify for before you go looking, before you even think about what you want, because unfortunately sometimes it's a rude awakening of, you know, what you want and what unfortunately your money can actually get you. So I would say, again, definitely look to see what you qualify for, and then figure out which area you could probably get the biggest bang for your buck, and the area that'll make you the happiest, because like I mentioned before, this is where you're living, and you want to be happy there, and ideally, you know, make some money in the process. So that would be my first big piece of advice is find out what you qualify for, then get with an agent that you trust, ideally me, that then can point you in the right direction of areas that can meet your needs. Again, considering all the things that you're looking for, whether it's location, whether it's, well, of course, the location is always important, but whether it's walkability, or if it's schools, or if it's, you know, close to the freeway for a commute, whatever it is, you need to figure out all of those parameters that you have, and then go from there. And hopefully, once you kind of rein in and hone in your expectations, then you can find the right property for you, and be happy and content with what you purchase. So having said all of that, thank you so much for everyone that's watching. If you do have questions, again, about any of the data from 2017, or the forecast for 2018, you can feel free to contact us at info@theswanteamoc.com or give us a call at 949-444-1601. We're always more than happy to give you a free valuation of your home, let you know what it could possibly sell for, just so you know that is different than an appraisal for a refi. So always keep that in mind. And, just be looking out for any friends or family that you think, that tell you that they are looking to possibly buy or sell. Definitely send them our direction. We'd love to help. And as always, we will always donate $500 to the school of your choice for any property that we help you sell or buy, because we want you to love where you live and give where you love. And so we're hoping to break records this year on our donation program as well. So hope everyone has a great evening and a great January. And if you're like me, you're going to jump over to watching the national championship football game right now. Alabama or Georgia, I don't know. Which one do you think is going to win? So anyways, everyone take care. Have a great day. See you later.